Today, we're going to talk about conflict in literature. Every story has a conflict. A conflict is a struggle between two opposing forces. There are two kinds of conflicts. There's an external conflict. These take place outside the body, and it's between the character and an outside force. And there are also internal conflicts. These take place inside the character. It's a struggle within the character himself or herself. There are three different types of external conflicts that you need to know right now. Let's take a look at each one. The first type of external conflict is character versus character. This type of conflict occurs when one character has a problem with another character in the story. Kind of like Mike here has a problem with Rachel having a higher score in Candy Crush than he does. Or character versus character could be between many characters. So Mike has his hands full with these 5 people going against him. The second type of external conflict is character versus nature. And I'm sure you can relate to this if you've ever dealt with a Syracuse winter. This type of conflict pits the character against a natural force, like a blizzard, a predatory animal, or a contagious disease. And hopefully not all three at once, like what's happening to Mike here. If you know the movie Jaws, then you've definitely seen character versus nature conflict before. The final type of external conflict is character versus society. This type of conflict happens when the character has a problem with the society in which they live, including laws or the beliefs of groups. And Mike here thinks these new laws stink. Remember this book series? Throughout the novels, and especially in books 2 and 3, there is a character versus society conflict, where the characters try to put a stop to the corrupt capital's rules over Panem. Now that we've learned about 3 types of external conflicts, let's focus on the one type of internal conflict. Internal conflict happens within the character's mind. Mike here is pretty sad. This is a conflict that you can't truly see on the outside. So while we know that Mike looks sad, we don't know what is making him sad or what his conflict is really about. Internal conflict is expressed as character versus self, where the character struggles with a decision or with his or her own identity. Insert Ponyboy Curtis. So while yes, he had a conflict with the Socias, and yes, he had a problem with people judging him for being a greaser, can you spot another conflict that he might have experienced? Yes, he also struggled to figure out his own identity throughout the book. That makes the conflict an internal character versus self conflict. Good work. So now let's review. Every story has a conflict. There's an external conflict that occurs outside the character, and there are internal conflicts that happen within the character. There are 3 types of external conflicts: character versus character, character versus nature, and character versus society. There's only one type of internal conflict. Sad Mike here is going to tell you it's character versus self.